Yo guys, what is going on and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video, we will be giving my outlook on Bitcoin for the upcoming year. 2023 has just started and I want to share my outlook with you guys in what I think will happen to Bitcoin in the upcoming months and year. I will have two different scenarios that I will share with you guys. I will explain exactly how you can prepare yourself for both of them, how you can make money with both of these scenarios. Let's dive straight into it. First of all, let's take a look at Bitcoin on the higher time frames. We can see that Bitcoin is still in a massive downtrend, but what can we also see is that this downtrend is slowly weakening. So at the beginning of the downtrend, we were seeing very steep and impulsive moves towards the downside every single time. And right now, we can see that the downtrend is slowly weakening and that the impulsive moves towards the downside are not as steep and impulsive as they were. Over here you can see the moves are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And right now we are seeing a very boring sideways range. Where did we see this before? Well, if we go back in time, we can see before the previous impulsive move, before the previous bull cycle started over here, we were also seeing a very boring sideways range. Afterwards, we saw a massive run towards the upside for Bitcoin of approximately 529%, all the way to the current all-time high, even almost 570%. Right now, we can also see that we are seeing a very boring and sideways range. Over here, we were seeing the same thing, very boring and sideways range, move towards the upside. Then obviously the COVID crash happened and we saw a continuation towards the upside afterwards. But we can see that those boring and sideways ranges occur every single time before we enter a bull market. Over here, once again, very boring and sideways range, bull market, okay? So that is definitely something that is very interesting. Does that mean that the bottom is in yet? I don't know, and personally, I don't believe it is, okay? So the first scenario that I'm watching for Bitcoin is this one. If I adjust the chart to this, what can we see? Bitcoin is forming a potential falling wedge formation, as you can see. So we have the lower high trend line over there, and we have the lower low trend line over here. We can see this is looking like a beautiful falling wedge for Bitcoin. So what am I expecting that could possibly occur in the upcoming months? Is for us to complete this falling wedge with one last move towards the downside. We can have something like this, in which we would get a new cycle low. We would sweep those equal lows over there, which is very nice confluence. We would trap a lot of people into thinking that we are going to 10K. Instead, we consolidate a little bit below those previous lows over here. We create a P03 pattern, in which I will show you guys in a little bit. Afterwards, we get a breakout, retest, and we pump it towards the upside. That is definitely something that I'm watching right now. And this potential scenario can also occur like this, in which we get one more rejection at the trend line over here, get another move towards the downside, and then the same thing can happen. We are getting confluences from multiple different sources. Over here, we can see, if we go onto the 12-hourly time frame, Bitcoin is forming a range. This could be the accumulation range. Why? Because we are forming this range below the previous range low. Okay, so this is already a potential P03 pattern that is in play, as you can see. Accumulation over here, manipulation over here, expansion over here, in which we would maybe get a double P03 because we are forming a very nice range over here. We'd get the manipulation range over here. And then after the reclaim, we get the expansion. And then we also get the expansion of the bigger P03 that is playing out over here. So we are maybe looking at a double P03 pattern, the power of 3. Accumulation, manipulation, expansion. Okay, so that's the first very nice confluence that we have. On top of that, if we go into the weekly time frame, we switch on the RSI over here. We can see that on the relative strength index, if I remove the RSI based moving average, we are forming a bullish divergence. So we are forming lower lows on the price action and higher lows on the RSI, as you can see. And this is one of the most powerful divergences that exist. Okay, If we go to the previous all-time high, what could we see? We were forming a bearish divergence on the weekly time frame. What happened afterwards? Afterwards, we saw a drop of approximately 77.6%. Okay, guys, so that is a very nice confluence that we are already seeing as well. A lot of you guys were probably wondering, would this bullish divergence be invalidated if we sweep the previous low? Probably, even if we close below the previous low on the weekly time frame, the bullish divergence would just continue. Okay, I do not expect the RSI to break the previous low over here. So in that case, we would still form a higher low on the RSI, maybe something like this. Okay, so I don't think that that would invalidate it. So that is definitely the first scenario that I'm watching for Bitcoin, to complete this falling wedge pattern that we just discussed, get that breakout and get a massive rally towards the upside from there. But the problem is that a lot of people are waiting for us to sweep these lows. On Binance, we did get a sweep of the previous low, but on a lot of other exchanges, we did not get a sweep of that low over here. Okay, so we have those equal lows, and a lot of people are waiting for those equal lows to be taken out before we get another run towards the upside. On top of that, we also have bearish market structure on the 12-hourly time frame, like this. We got a sweep of that high over there. Bearish market structure, we got a break of structure, so a lot of people are waiting for this lower high to be formed, to short it towards those lows over here, to break those lows, to go maybe towards the lower low trend line of that falling wedge. But instead, a lot of people forget that we do have a sweep on Binance and on some other exchanges, and we also got a break of structure over here on Bitcoin. So we got a break of structure on a high time frame. What if this was the first impulsive move towards the upside? Currently, we are forming the second one with a potential ABC correction. Then we get the third one, fourth one, fifth one towards the upside. Why do I think this is a possible scenario? Because we might just be forming an A, B, C correction. And instead of going towards new lows, we maybe sweep this low into this demand area, form a higher low over here, and get that third wave towards the upside, in which we could maybe get some kind of impulsive move towards the upside and some kind of a bear market rally. If this occurs, then I don't think that we have seen the bottom yet. Then I believe maybe we get something like this. Then I believe we go and test these three highs, at least two of them, take out some of those highs, and then maybe get one last crash towards the downside, in which we do break those lows, form the bottom of this cycle and pump from there. Okay, so that is the second scenario that I'm watching. So we have a scenario in which we are short-term bearish and then long-term and mid-term bullish. And we have a scenario where we are short-term bullish, then a little bit bearish because we will finish at ABC correction. And then we are mid-term bullish, but long-term still bearish because we do expect another low to be formed. Okay, so there are two types of scenarios in which I think the most amount of people would get trapped before we enter a new bull cycle. In which the first one is to go down now, sweep those lows, complete that falling wedge and break out. And the second one is to break out now, in which we would get an ABC correction, which still has to be finished, take out these highs, and then have one last crash towards the downside, and then form the bottom there. It comes down to the next thing. You need to already be invested for at least a part of your money into spot. You can't have 100% USDT waiting for 10K because nobody knows for sure at what price the bottom will form. If you are now invested, for example, 30 to 40% into spot positions, like I am, and the market pumps from here, you are still profiting massively. If the market goes down first, then you can still invest the other 50 to 60 to 70% and dollar cost average your way down, get insane average entry prices on Bitcoin and on altcoins, and enjoy the run upwards from there. But if the market pumps now and you are not invested into spot, and you are going to FOMO into spot over here or over here, and we get that last crash towards the downside, and you will once again panic sell your spot positions, you will be having massive losses. If the market just goes down from here, we dollar cost average into our positions, and if we bounce from there, the market will show us some massive profits. Okay, guys? So that is the lesson of today. Always dollar cost average. Don't wait for the picobello bottom because you will not catch it. No one will catch the picobello bottom. Trust me. If everyone expects it to go to 10K, it will maybe stop at 10.3K. Okay? The same. Everyone was waiting for 100K. Did we ever go there? No, we didn't. Okay? So make sure to always dollar cost average into your positions and to never forget to take profits. Okay? If we now get this move towards the upside from here, and I'm already invested 40% into spot, and I see that we get some kind of a bear market rally, I can add to my spot positions over here, take some profits over here, add to them over here, take some more profits over here and over here, expecting another drop. And then I can once again dollar cost average those profits back in once we are near new lows. Always stick to your plan, always follow your plan, and yes, always plans can change, but you can always react to the situation. But for long term, you need to have your plan ready, especially with your spot positions. Okay, until then, trade as much money as you can, make as much money as you can. It doesn't necessarily have to be with trading, it can always be with side hustles, with little businesses, with working a normal regular job. And don't forget to invest it. Because if you buy now, in 3 to 4 years, I believe your money will at least be worth 10x from now. Those are massive gains, probably more. Be patient, stick to your plan. If you guys have any questions after revealing my plan and my scenario for 2023, let me know in the comments or join our free Discord or follow me on Twitter. You can ask all the questions you want and I will always be there to answer them. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll speak to you guys on Friday. Ciao!